of honor, my co-host, Maramis so funny, and now almost
Yes.
like a daily routine as a guest,
Well,
David. No, not David.
no, you forget.
Clark.
That's okay. Rolando didn't get very much sleep last night, as you can
Feely.
imagine.
Clark Feely. Welcome, both of you. Thank
Thank
for being
you,
here.
Rolando.
I think it's like I just left.
I think you
know.
did just leave.
I tell you one thing. I don't know who this woman is. Kayleen, what's her name? Running for president?
Fiorino?
Yeah, Kayleen Fiorina or Fiolina.
Well, I
How do you pronounce it?
pronounced it Fiorini or something.
Fiorini. Okay. I don't know who is this woman.
Well, there she is. We'll learn
You know,
more
I
about
hate
her.
her.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because now I'm confused. I don't know if I want to go with Donald Trump or I want to go with her.
Oh,
she
you're
is fantastic.
Well,
She
okay.
got
A lot
83
of positive comments.
Yes.
positive. A
Yeah.
lot.
Okay. I didn't realize you were being facetious. Okay, I got it now.
I mean, the woman is intelligent.
Well, good.
definitely. She was the CEO of the biggest company in the
Mhm.
world.
What about vice president?
No, she's not a vice president.
She might
I
take
think she should be president. I tell you, I would love to see her
I don't know how
facing the other
she
woman in
might
the other
have,
party.
she might have her own financial backing too. I don't know how
Yes.
much money she came out as chairman of the board of Hewlett Packard, but I know that other one that founded eBay is very wealthy in her own right, and she ran for politics in California. I forget her name now.
Mm.
Fiorina might be, so she's not viable.
Well-
That's my point. I don't want this next president to be viable.
No, of course not. And I tell you, that woman is fantastic. I don't know.
I think she won.
I
what
don't know.
hear. She
I
won
mean,
the debate
let
last
me
night
tell you,
against
and let me tell you one thing I found very, very intriguing. Then it's not that much publicity about her.
Right.
I think they hiding her. They want to push her because she's dangerous. She is unbelievable. I love intelligent women. I love a smart woman, and definitely, I know I love independent women. I cannot be with women that are
Did you watch a repeat of the first debate last night when you
No.
went home?
no.
When did you see her? I missed it.
It was
No,
prior.
I was watching Fox News
You watched that.
Yeah.
I was busy with something.
this morning. This
Oh,
morning,
this morning you saw it.
yeah,
Oh, I was going to say, you've seen this somewhere. I didn't see it.
yeah. But I mean, she has. But they don't talk too much about her. She's a danger to a lot of these people that are politicians. That's why I like Donald Trump. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. He is going to put the country up there again. And now I meet this young lady. I don't know if she's married. I don't know nothing about her because they have not give us any information about
She's
her.
a cancer survivor, too, from what I understand.
Well, I imagine you're going to be learning more about her on
Well,
your
I
own and
hope-
writing about her.
I hope so. I
I'm-
really hope so because, man, it is. It's a hell of a decision.
Well-
a hell of a decision for somebody like me. And look at the way she talked. I forgot what that woman, Andrea, I forgot her last name,
Yeah.
from Fox News.
Tarantula.
And let me say hello to Ramon Savoy because Ramon Savoy, the publisher of the Las Vegas Sentinel Voice. And you too, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. And, anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt the
Carla
show.
Fiorina, I think is her right name.
Fiorina.
Fiorina, I believe.
So she must be Italian, right? Well, we're not going to
You
hold
can't
that against.
always
We're
judge.
not going to hold that against her. Yeah,
Rolando.
that can be her husband's name.
Right.
Yeah, with a woman, it's more difficult to find now. her nationality because some woman used to adopt the husband's.
Of course.
Businesswomen don't do that too much anymore, right, Maramis?
Well, there is a lot of that going around, keeping
They
your.
throw in 3 names in the mix, like someone we know.
Really?
Well, the HRC, I think there were initials.
Oh,
Her initial?
no, Hillary Rodham
Oh,
Clinton.
There's some women
She
like
kept
to have
her.
the 3 names.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
No.
But it's, well,
1, 2, 3, 4 names. It doesn't matter.
But
Whatever
know
you go
what?
by.
Maybe I'm too ignorant. Maybe I'm stupid. But I really don't consider her a valuable candidate.
Oh, are we talking about Hillary now?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
Ben
consider
Carson
Yeah.
had a
but
very good comment last night. He said specifically he didn't think she was going to make the cut. She wasn't going to be running for president.
Right.
Ben Carson said.
well, but the
I
problem,
don't think
the
so.
problem, the problem that most people have right now. I mean, I hate to be so blunt and so. She's dangerous. She's a dangerous woman, and she will go to any extreme to become the first female president. And her husband and her have a history of brutality and
She is portrayed in the House of Cards. That show is about her.
she really.
oh, is that the show you were thinking
Yes,
of, the House of
She
Cards?
is the
Oh,
lady in
okay.
that show. That's who the show's about, I think.
Yeah, we were
The
discussing
portrayal
it.
of the despicability, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the
Well,
politics.
one thing Hillary has on her side, which seems obvious, is that some people, probably a whole group of people who shall remain nameless, would like to see a female president. And that might be the only major card she has going for. I personally don't think you should say female president regardless of who that is.
Yeah.
You know, that.
No, I won't. I don't want to see.
No.
I don't want to see Hillary Clinton being the president.
I think
But I don't
put all
mind
the
this
females
woman.
in the world and lined them up, that she would be on the bottom run for my choice of a female president.
Well, thank goodness, though, as Rolando pointed out, we have another choice if we want a
We
woman.
got another choice. And let me tell you, that is a hell of a choice. That's a hell of a choice.
Well, we'll be learning more about her as
I
time
hope
goes
so,
on.
because I
Yeah.
think they will be doing it.
qualified to do the job.
Well,
They
what
will-
stood
They
out?
will be doing a disservice not only to her, but also to the country
Yeah.
by hiding her, because she is, in my opinion, what do I know, right?
Well,
Uh,
what stood out for you, Rolando, with the Fiorina?
Her calms.
Her
She's
calmness.
calm.
Okay.
She talks great.
She's a businesswoman.
Yes.
She is. I don't know.
She's been in leadership. She's been the
She's a
chairman of the
leader.
board
I mean,
of a billion-dollar company.
Was there any particular point in her politics that
I
stood
didn't
out?
hear her talking.
Oh, I see.
All I hear is
About her. Yeah.
about her, and that's why I
She
said.
made comments about our friend Hillary that were right on the money. She's not even qualified to be anything, is what she was saying. Not those words. But
Did she know Hillary personally?
No, but she know well.
Well,
Probably.
She
Look, Donald Trump.
She
Donald-
was hitting on the points, the key points of what's wrong with Hillary. She rattled them right off. Boom. She wasn't reading from something.
it always
She-
pays to know your
Oh,
competition.
she
Yeah,
knows. She
and, I
was-
tell
she
you
was
one
right on
thing.
the money.
I tell you one thing. I believe that somebody in there yesterday criticized Donald Trump because Hillary Clinton was in his wedding. Well, how many people don't like to have an important, because you cannot deny being a Secretary of State or being a state senator for the United States and New York. It brings some kind of cloud, and some people, when they get that high, I will not personally will go, because like I said before, the president of my country used to come to my house every Sunday, have lunch with my grandparents. I never sit down in the table because I didn't like him. But this is different. This is people in the high places. They have to bingo with all those people, and having the Secretary of State or the U.S. Senate, and
he also could have done it just to be controversial and call more attention to himself for whatever reasons. Who knows?
He probably wasn't even thinking about running for president at that time.
And quite frankly, it just doesn't matter. You know,
No, it
who we
doesn't matter.
have.
Comments that have been made today by low information people, I'd have to call them. Maybe they like Trump
What did they
to start
say?
with, and they said because he mentioned that Hillary came to his wedding, and now they're turned off from Trump. And that's the point he was making, that he buys these people. That's what he used to do. And when he said,
but I
Hillary
think
would
that's
be
a little,
Trump,
that's a
he
little
said
bit
how
out of.
high.
I
That
think
was
that's
his
a
point.
little bit out of line.
Which
That's
is
his point.
out of line.
He can buy people.
Well,
That's his point.
Yeah.
And he's right. These people are bought and paid for.
And
He
remember,
doesn't buy 'em. That's
every-
his point.
And that's why we don't want any more of those people.
But
That's
see,
his
he's
point.
been there, done that, and he knows how to play the game. And I guess in essence, he's
People
saying,
missed it.
when you're a president, you don't do that.
That's right. You need a president that's not subject.
He's,
to that.
you know, he's been
done it.
down
He
that
knows how to
road.
do it. He knows they jump when he says jump, they jump, and he doesn't want any more of that. He wants to be president and stop that. Who knows better than him? He used to do it. And his example was, she came to my wedding because I told her to. That's right.
But that was a point. That the point
Really?
was
That's what he said.
exactly.
I told her to.
Yes, that is the exact point.
They jump. When
So-
I call, they jump.
So she is obviously, you know, for
That was his
sale.
point, and people missed it. They just
Yeah.
missed it. They turn it around and say it means something else.
Yeah.
That he's a Hillary supporter. He
That
wasn't
was a
saying
great
that.
point
He
he made.
wasn't saying that.
And
people
he also made the point that people don't get his point, that they misinterpret him in print
Yeah, and that's the problem.
and on the air.
They take a word here, a word from one speech, a word from another speech, they put it together.
This is
say it
why
came from
you
the same
need the
speech.
context. You
Yeah,
always
yeah.
need the context.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you even missed that one, Rolando.
I did.
I'm glad we brought it
Another
up.
guy calls into some show and he says that he didn't like he used to be a Trump supporter, he's not anymore, because of the comment that he made about this abortion deal, where he had these friends of his that were thinking of having an abortion and they didn't, and the baby was born, and now it's a superstar. Well, the guy didn't like that because somehow he turned this all around. Well, what about his own kids?
Yeah, they mentioned that this morning. And
What are you talking about? What is his own kids? And I think it may have been Rush Limbaugh or somebody made the comment back to the guy, well, maybe Trump never thought about aborting his own kids. So what's the
I
point
don't
you're
understand.
I never got it.
Yeah.
What is your point? But now he's not going to vote for Trump because of the abortion comment that he made. There's so much information out there that's just false.
People are looking for things to pick on.
maybe one guy is not going to vote for him, and three more are going to vote for him.
That could be, but you got a guy now that's making comments like that. People hear those comments.
Why?
Some people
Because he
listen to
saved
him.
somebody's life?
I don't even get the point. What about his own kids? What do they have to do with anything? Where did Trump ever say he was considering aborting any of his own kids? I never heard that. I don't think it ever happened.
Well, I cannot believe that he can be aborting anybody because he's not pregnant. His wife might
Well,
be, you know.
Well, that Rolando.
Well, anyway, my point is, there's a voter out there, a potential voter that just missed the whole point.
Yeah.
He just misconstrued the whole thing. And that's an issue that's very serious in this.
And you notice, I don't know if it was yesterday or before, or I don't know, he is in top of his campaign. He has not hired any campaign consultant as
Certainly
yet.
hasn't been identified. If there's one there, it's not, hasn't been identified.
Well,
don't
I
think he needs
suppose, exactly. I suppose he's been around that block enough to control things on his own.
But I think he need to delegate.
Well, he might,
Yeah,
and
he
he
has to.
probably
There's a
will.
little something to be said for today. There was a couple points made that, maybe they attacked him so much. I think the loser yesterday was Fox News. I think.
Oh, definitely. I said that last night.
And I think there's going to be a little pushback there to maybe Trump's going to get more support by what happened because they made him a victim somehow.
Yeah.
And there's something said that, people are going to say, well, you know what? He stood up to that pretty well. He survived.
Yeah.
And they were attacking him. Maybe this guy is presidentiable.
He did.
Word
I
is,
think
because
he. I think he is.
He's under attack. For what? Wanting to be president?
No,
Yeah.
I see.
The third party comment completely misconstrued. And
Well,
everything
did
that's
we
all
ever
clear
hear
about.
anything about local people making comments of? Because I tell you, since you introduced me to Fox News, I haven't even been watching the local news anymore because, I used to write about that all the time. The local news over here is a joke. It's a disrespect to the human's intelligence. And but I missed that yesterday. I should have put at least the 11 o'clock news.
Yeah, I was stuck on the TV all night. I was up till almost dawn just listening to.
Yeah, but when I got home, I had to run to the airport, so
Oh.
I could not watch the news. I was going to
You
watch.
picked up Donald King?
Yes,
Yeah.
I picked the bus. No, I take the bus to the airport. But what can I tell you? I missed that news.
Well, that was the first debate. So, first debates are always whatever they are, and they come and go. And now the next debate we can look forward to.
Who's going to do the next debate?
Well, it'll
Still,
be CNN, I think I heard today. Of
Oh,
course,
really?
How Fox News even slipped in there is I don't know. Because before the liberals owned that part of the media, why would the Republicans, the conservatives, ever go for a liberal media? Why did they have a lock on it? So this is the first time that, conservatives supposedly are fair and balanced mediators were there. And boy, I'll tell you what, they weren't too
They
fair
were
and
not.
balanced.
I tell you, I was very surprised with all the credibility and all the respect that Mike Wallace used to have when he was alive. I'm surprised to see his son to be such a piece of garbage, man.
Well, the first comment I heard today when I turned on my radio or whatever was the guy said, I thought somehow I must have turned on the wrong station because I was going to miss the debate. For a minute there, I thought I had turned on CNN by accident. And that was
He
the
said
comment,
that?
Yeah, that was the comment I made. Yeah, I said right away when I started watching it, I said, "We got the right channel on that. This does not sound like Fox. It sounds like these questions are coming." And one of them was from Wallace.
Yeah.
This guy, what in the world? And then I never put the last name together with Mike. And that comment came out yesterday. I said, he's the son of Mike. I said, I never put that together. Wow. That answers a lot of questions. But anyways.
So anyway, what else is new? What else is happening?
Gosh.
Let me ask you: did your president did any comments on the debate?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
No,
I
not from
heard Hillary Clinton, instead of
watching the debate
decided to go out
and
with
mingle
Kim
with the
Kardashian
Kardashians.
or whatever, because they represent the low information voter, I guess. And
Kardashian?
Hillary-
Did you hear that,
Hillary-
Rolando?
Instead of watching the debate, she went to some affair with the Kardashians.
So what? When she got home, she had it taped.
I know,
and
but
they're
it's
gonna run
just
it.
a little
And,
strange.
it's
But
no.
she's catering to the Kardashian voter. That's part of her base. And that just shocks me.
I wonder what kind of a percentage of a base that would be. What do you think?
Well, it's pretty strong on the people that you talk to. They want to know what color lipstick Kim wears today and what shoes she's wearing.
I have never
There's a lot of
watched
them out
that
there.
show even
And
once.
did she wear any panties or not?
I
You
can't
know.
flip that. If I accidentally hit that going by, I speed up my going by. I can't even think about my goodness gracious.
Well, either
I mean, I tell you the truth. I feel the same way. As much as I admire beautiful women and sexy women more than beautiful, I don't think they are that beautiful.
No.
But they are really voluptuous and they are exciting. And I don't even watch that show that they have.
they're made to be exciting. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're packaged that way.
Yeah, but even the youngest one,
Well, you don't have to pick on what they look like. Obviously, they're looking their best from somebody's standpoint.
Yeah,
You
of
know.
course. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
That is what normally an average man like me would like. I always wanted to see, I always have a sexy looking woman. I always like all that glamour, showgirl type. But I don't know, maybe I'm getting old. I
Well,
don't know. Because I tell you, they don't impress me at all.
but the point really isn't about what they look like, whether they're sexy or not. It's about what are they doing? What are they presenting
that's
to
the
the
point.
world? What is their why
That's
would
my-
anybody want to
that's
see
my
their life from
point.
day to day?
That is my point.
Yeah.
All they got is beauty, no brains, in my opinion. You know.
We have somebody running for president that'd rather be
In their
those
company.
people in
Mhm.
their company rather than paying attention to the world burning all around them. And you know,
Now let me ask you something. Did anybody saw her there?
Well, she put selfies. You know what selfies are, right?
Yes.
She posted those with, I guess, some copy so people could know what they're all about, and that's why it ended up on TV this morning.
Well,
You know,
that's my news. That's what I had.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's the blockbuster coming from the liberal side, anyways. So I
got the feeling that
quiet.
I got the feeling that at some point she was watching. I don't care where she was.
oh yeah,
She was watching that, or like I said before, she probably recorded. She got a million
Sure.
people around her. Maybe what's his name? Monica Lewinsky's boyfriend. What's his name?
her husband.
Oh, her husband. Yeah, and
Okay, all right.
maybe he was watching
He's
it
being funny. He's
and
being
giving her the tips
Yeah,
of what. In
but
case
maybe the whole point was, why do I have to worry about what they're saying or bother with what they're saying? Because I know I'm
That I'm
going to be
gonna win.
fine. So I don't have to bother with my so-called competition.
Yeah, she's
You know.
arrogant enough.
Maybe that was her thought,
Yeah,
her plan.
she's arrogant enough to
You know.
think that
I
way.
can't think like her, so I can't figure it out. So
No, well, there's,
some of the things she does just
no,
shake my head.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
but okay, now
I like
what,
that comment that Dr. Carson said the other night, because he specifically said, I don't think she's running, or I don't think she's going to be there, or whatever. he
Well,
said.
time will tell. So
That was pretty, that's the only one that said that.
yeah,
You know, and I like the way Walker, when he talked about what had gone on or what this or that, he always linked with Clinton's. He linked the Clinton administration with every response that he said. Well, who was the front part of it? Bush? No, Clinton. Anyways, he linked every negative. He linked with Clinton, the Clinton administration. I like that because he's getting that.
Well, depending on who's doing the linking, you can always find something good or something bad to look at, But at the end of the day, usually one side or the other weighs a little heavier.
yeah,
Yeah, and then I thought that religion has its place in the world. Some people rely on it, some people don't. But boy, to end that debate last night with all that talk about religion and everything, especially when you have fanaticism to the level it is in the world, and a lot of problems and people cutting off Christians' heads and everything, I thought that was an inappropriate question to end a debate on about, who's going to be president, and you ask them a question that relates directly to God. I just didn't get the connection. I don't know.
What was the
I didn't
question
either. I
again?
didn't.
What was the question again, Clark?
Well, if God was talking to you on a daily basis,
Oh,
what would his
are you-
instructions be or something?
Yeah, something about do you
Just made no
get
sense to me.
instructions from God, or do you communicate with God? Yeah.
Strange.
Well, it would be strange to ask anybody blatantly. It's kind of like prying into their personal inner life that might not have a place.
What would you answer if they ask you that question? What would be your answer?
Well, if I'm waiting for an answer from God of how I'm supposed to be president or what I'm supposed to do about it, I'll be waiting a long time. And I think my constituents are going to be disappointed if I'm standing around waiting for some message from a hand in the sky. I don't live my life that way. I'm sorry.
What about you, Maramis?
Well, I certainly wouldn't make up stories about hearing God's voice, but meditation is a practice in which you make space for God to
But did
communicate with
did
you.
anybody make comments on what God said to them?
Well,
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah,
you know,
tried to
sort
answer
of.
the question, and it was a funny question. My only point. There's
Well,
no space for that question.
I will answer that very simply.
How?
It's none of your business. My conversation with God is private.
Well, I think that, but that's an answer saying that you even communicate with God without pushing it on people. Do you know what I mean?
So I don't like God to be pushed around on anybody. I just don't
No.
like that. And I thought one thing I'll say about Huckabee, he was always too religious to me. But last night he
Yeah.
wasn't. He mentioned the word God one time, but I think he almost did it in vain by using it as an emphasis on something. He wasn't talking about
I
God.
think Graham
said,
more religious than
Yeah, Huckabee was great last night. He looked really presidential.
Yeah.
And he
Well, he
a lot
got
of
plenty
opinions.
practice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think being on the TV as much as he was on Fox with his own
And
show
he
and
run
everything.
what? How many times he run for president?
He ran the last time,
That's it?
and
And the
he
one
was-
before
he was
last.
the governor of Arkansas, so he's got political background. He's got chief executive type background of a state anyway. So
Yeah.
if he got elected or whatever, I'd support him 100%. I mean, he looked presidential last night. He really did. He had strong answers. That's what I'm trying to say. He impressed me in the past. He's not strong. Last night he was strong. He really was.
Well,
And
that was his
impressed me.
intention. So I'm sure he
Oh,
stood in
sure,
front of the
but-
mirror looking his best.
Well, but you need somebody that portrays himself in that
You do.
light instead of being the wishy-washy band,
Or
bass player that he.
or slightly crazy person like Rand was.
Rand he was stretching last night. He was trying
He
to-
was a little bit
he was
out
a
of
little
it.
over the top a little bit.
Yeah, he
And,
didn't get. He
was-
didn't come out
he's
too
not
good.
doing that well in the polls, I guess. And
He also had, I think, the least amount of time logged in for
Maybe,
speaking. I
maybe.
think it was something like 6 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, compared to the others.
yeah, there were some there that hardly had any time.
Well, he was.
And
Yeah.
I thought Marco Rubio was okay.
he did
Yeah.
a good job. He answered the questions forthright.
And nobody
he was
can
very presidential.
pick on his age. We've had a couple of young presidents
But I
before.
still have a problem with Ted Cruz.
In what
I thought
way?
he did
In what
good.
way?
He was born in Canada. His mother is Cuban. His father is Cuban.
But they were United States citizens, and they just
But
happened to be in Canada.
you have to be,
Born.
you have to be born in the United States. You have to be, one of the parents has to be an American,
They
not
were
an
both
American citizen. It's two different
A
things.
natural
No, I
born.
don't-
Natural born.
Okay, well, you know what? This is almost not even worth debating because there's a list somewhere,
it's
of the
constitutional
requirements.
that he is bona fide.
and he would not get to that.
Yeah, no, he's
that
definitely-
point.
he's more bona
No,
fide than Obama.
really?
He wouldn't. No, I know what you're
Really?
going for. I know what you're going for here.
Let's say you're in the military and you're serving in Germany. And you
I
and your
understand
wife have
that.
a kid in Germany. That's a United States citizen. If
I
you-
understand
Same
that.
thing with him. He had United States citizens for parents, and they just happened to be born in Canada. They weren't living in Canada. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know the background.
But my point is the parents are not natural
Born.
born.
Well,
citizens.
I don't know
There's
that.
been
I
how many people have been president of the United States where their
Well,
father
he
was
said-
not born in the United States? I mean,
His father
George
says
Washington's
so.
president, father wasn't born here. I mean, neither was the mother. I'm sure.
Who?
Well-
George Washington.
He
Our
wasn't
first
born
president.
here?
His parents weren't born here, so he was not qualified, in your opinion, to be
Yeah, but
president of the
maybe
United States because his
after
parents weren't born here.
after him they created that new law.
There's not a law. He is considered born here, even though he wasn't born here. Cruz is officially a U.S.
yeah.
citizen.
Well, I wouldn't debate that because
No,
without
it's not an
having,
No,
It's not an issue.
You know.
And I
his
think-
father definitely was not born here
No,
because he
neither
was
George Washington.
he was there. He was there with Fidel Castro according to him, he was
I hear you.
hand on hand with Fidel Castro as a good communist person.
I think that theory of not of being, you must be born in this country, goes back to treasonous days or something, when we had to be very sure that the people that were going to be the leader of our country are true to America. I think that's from the old school. Now, if we had a really qualified individual that would be the best president, hands down, that we ever had in this country, and he happened to be born, let's say Russia. I mean, for God's sakes, if this guy would be the best president we ever had, why the hell shouldn't he be president?
Well,
Just 'cause he
there's
wasn't
there's something for you
That-
to
that goes back to
research,
some kind of,
Rolando. You could write
where
a
we
darn good
threw-
article
where
about
we
that.
threw all the Japanese in internment camps in the World War because we weren't sure that these people were going to be back in us or back in the Japanese. So we threw them in jail, more or less, because we were afraid. That's the thing. We're afraid of someone's background, that they may not be loyal to the country. I think that's where that
Well,
comes from.
because they did a big deal. They went through a big deal and wasting a lot of time when Obama was running, because they claimed that he was not born here. And Obama had not yet, at that time, identified himself as a socialist. Okay? Cruz's father identified himself as a communist. Why are we going to do why? Because he's a Republican and the other one is a Democrat? No, I think we need to be very careful. What are we doing? What are we going to do? Bring Fidel Castro to the White House for the swear-in ceremony? No, I don't think we need to be very careful
You
with
mean
that.
if Cruz got elected? What? I don't know.
We need to be very careful about that. We are living in a very, very dangerous world. Okay? The communists are almost there to take over the United States. We cannot allow that to happen.
Well,
We cannot allow that to happen.
I could see some very passionate
It is.
editorials
It is.
coming up from Rolando.
It is. I don't believe that the people in this country will embrace a socialist or a communist, even if the Senate and
We
the.
have one now.
But what? Did you see the people embrace him? I don't think so.
Half of them did.
I don't think so. Just because Harry Reid brought all his dead people and his illegal Mexicans to vote for him, that mean that he is embraced by the people of the United States? Even the black people don't like him anymore.
Now, but they elected him twice.
No.
Dangerous. No.
Why the black people? Don't blame the black people now for him being there twice. You know, believe me,
I'm saying
I have the tendency to believe that the Mexicans elected him twice because he lied to the Mexicans by telling them, we are going to make you legal. And neither one of them is going to do that.
You're talking about being careful about who we elect, because what is a real agenda?
Right.
Well, Obama's agenda never supported the United States agenda, in my opinion. He was always somewhere else. You know, and that's dangerous. That goes to your point.
But
That
the
was a
people,
dangerous-
did the people not? I don't
No,
think
they
the people
didn't.
knew that.
Especially the first time around.
And I don't think that the Secret Service and the FBI and the Justice Department did a good job and let people know
He was
what the
never
truth
vetted.
was.
He was never vetted. He was protected by the media. The truth never came out about him. To this day, it hasn't come out about him.
Yeah.
But we have proof because of his actions.
Yeah.
But the truth was never told. He was the least vetted president I think ever got elected. We knew nothing about.
You know,
this
it
guy.
would be very painful to me, and I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I'm not trying to be a martyr or anything like that, but I don't want to be more American than Washington or Jefferson, but I love this country, and I will really, really regret to see this country to become another Venezuela or Cuba or any of those countries.
You know, it's sad
You know,
because we
people
have-
don't realize the communist is different than democracy.
Right.
Democracy is what we got here, the exploitation of a man by the man. Communist is the exploitation of the man by the government.
Right.
You know,
The
you have to
founders-
work, you don't get paid. You got to work, you get a car to go to the store and buy food. That's what it is. You cannot change, you cannot sell your house, you cannot trade your car for a better car without permission from the government? Is that what the people in the United States want?
America had an opportunity, and we did become the greatest country in the world. And other smart people have said, if America goes down, it's going to come from within.
Yeah, of
No
course.
one can take us down. We have too much. We have too many natural resources. We have the best chance of anybody in the world to be the greatest country. And damn it, if we're not doing our best to ruin it.
Well, every country has that. Every other country has that.
My goodness.
You know, you want to see more.
Who has
You want to
as
see
much as
more
we do?
wealthy. You want to see more wealthy country than Mexico. I mean, they are really wealthy in every aspect and everywhere. The only problem with them is that everybody that don't agree with the government run away to the United States. They don't have the balls to fight for their country. They love their country from here. They come here to demand. And this is what bothers me. I
think the government's tremendously corrupt.
very much so. Why you think it's not here too?
Well, that's what we have to stop here because we're going that way. And that's one of the big issues.
We are that way.
Well, you're right. But, we're not quite there yet as far as Mexico is. Mexico's gonzo, and they've been taken over by the drug lords. I mean, they're a controlled country now. It's not a country anymore. It's the drug country. The czars of Mexico are, where's the guy that just tunneled his way out of jail? Where is he? Supposedly he's living in this friggin' city that he owns, I think. He owns everything. It's like the best.
No. They said they didn't say he lived there in Sinaloa. The people of Sinaloa said he's not here, but if he was here, we will protect him because he did more for that city than the government ever gonna do for them. And that should be a lesson to those people that are in.
He lasted so long in New York is because he took care of his neighborhood, and
I tell you one thing, people don't believe me when I said that. I saw young Gotti corrected kids because they skipped school. What are you doing out of this school? Get back to school. You need to learn. You need to be smart. You don't need to be a punk in the street. I saw that with my own eyes. Okay, so I mean, let's face it, guys, the mafia is not really all that bad. If you don't double cross them, they will not double cross you. They make the business people. I mean, you never feel like getting even with somebody that betray you.
Never.
No, oh please. You love Josh Earl, right?
Oh yeah, no, he's my favorite judge.
You see? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank God he is where he is today.
Yeah.
Hopefully on his couch. He's about always qualified to sit on, in my opinion, but that's a story for another day.
Right.
But,
okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean,
I understand. There's,
this town was much better when supposedly the mafia was running this town. People were able to come over here. They don't have to give.
I think that people had a better time coming here because it was run right. That they gave you everything was more or less free because they wanted your money at the table. And
right.
The point of coming was to gamble. Now you can't afford to gamble because everything costs so much.
Right.
So you don't have any fun coming here anymore. So that hurts, I think.
I saw that with my own eyes after Howard Hughes bought the Sun Hotel. This guy was high roller, what they call high roller. I don't know what his credit line was or anything because lucky for me, I never been a casino person. I never been a gambler, but this guy was sitting at a table. He was losing money according to the pit boss. His wife was sitting next to him, and then she wanted a pack of cigarettes, and the girl came in, and she said, $5.75. $5.75. The guy is losing $20,000, $30,000, whatever he was losing. And you're going to be picking on a $5.75. How stupid these corporations are.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's
why they all struggling.
Yeah.
competing with themselves. Oh, you got 3,000 rooms? I'm going to build 4,000 rooms. Look at Caesar's Palace. Look at every other casino in here. It's broke.
Yeah,
They live in out of the fantasy. They live in a fake life. They live it like most people in this town live, fake with a plastic card. That's all they do.
Everything gets to a point where it comes crumbling down. The Roman Empire came crumbling down.
Yeah.
America's on that path. Greece is ahead of us in that regard. Every government's collapsed on its own weight. That's what happens. And look at the successful casinos. Eventually, they collapse in a way on their own weight. They all have to go through an adjustment, if you will. Look at what Trump said about Atlantic City. Everybody there went broke. Atlantic City was up and coming in the 80s, my good gracious. They were making money hand over fist. Even Trump said he made a lot of money there, but he got out when he needed to get out because it was going south. They get too big, their overhead gets too big, more and more money goes in the wrong pockets, it doesn't get invested back in the business, and then things collapse.
And the Caesar's Palace open. I don't know what they got, 1,400 room or
Yeah, it's
1,600, 2,000.
that would be a lot.
You know, oh my God, look
probably,
at that.
probably 800 in that vicinity, I would guess.
Really?
Yeah, I would say under 1,000 for sure.
You know, and people were excited. You know, and now you
And
build
look
a
how
hotel with
beautiful it was.
4,000 rooms, and people say, big
Look
deal.
how beautiful it was with the fountains and this and that. Where are they now?
Look
Where did the
at
fountains go?
that.
The
Let
retail
me tell you
space.
something. Look at even that piece of trash like the Imperial Palace. It got a nice entrance. It gives people the welcoming environment. And you know, the Tropicana used to have that curve. I haven't been there in years. I don't know what the Tropicana look now, but I don't think it can look any better than, you know, look at the Sahara Hotel with that big entrance, flashy, you know, the Thunderbird. Well, the Thunderbird don't exist anymore, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sands used to have that circle.
Yeah. No.
Even the Stardust, that was considered a local joint,
Yeah.
it got a nice entrance, lighting and everything else. Now look at the Sahara.
They're all cookie
Look
cutter
at the
places
Sahara
now.
with what do you call that?
I think they took
The
that
cinema.
down.
Oh,
Yeah, they
The
did, right?
ride, I think that's
Yeah,
gone
they
now.
right.
Yeah, right in the front of the hotel.
I mean, for Christ's sake, you know, people that live here as long as I have, you know, we see those things and we cry, man. We cry. You know, this is not what do you call when you go to the carnival or whatever
Well,
you call.
remember years ago, not that long ago, the town was going down the path. They were going to be a kids' town, a family-oriented.
Yeah,
And how did that work out? You know, what are you doing? You're making it a Disneyland.
Yeah.
MGM had a big park. It's gone now. I mean, they were catering to the children.
I know, and they used to have arcade in the bottom of the Aladdin, a big arcade, by the way. You know, it's
Years
not.
and years ago, kids weren't even allowed in town. You bring your kids to Vegas. what do you
Nobody
do?
bring kids to Vegas,
My goodness, you know.
to Las Vegas. I'm talking like,
watch yourself.
I'm talking like those newcomers and those journalists that come here from somewhere else. Vegas. This is not Vegas. This is Las Vegas. This is not a valley. This is a desert. You know, and I remember I used to go to LA and people said to me, "Oh, you're going back to the desert?" Yes, I'm going back to the desert. But I never called this a valley, you know, except I talk about Valley View Avenue, you know, or street or whatever that street is.
You got a point.
You know, I mean, these people, these transplants coming over here because they see what they like what they see, and then they wanted to change it to what they left. And I keep talking.
that's- yeah.
I keep writing about that, and these stupid elected officials that we have here, they're too busy patting themselves in the back, and they don't want to realize that all these transplants from somewhere else are coming over here to change this town.
they're fleeing a place that they've already ruined, and they're coming to another place now to ruin it.
Yeah, they come over here to party and to enjoy themselves and have orgies and everything else because they cannot do it in their little town in Moline, Illinois, or Rockford, Illinois, or any other those towns. And then when they get here, they criticize because a truck is driving around the strip with a naked woman in it. Exactly. Oh, please, come on, don't be a hypocrite. I mean, that's what I call hypocrites.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Give it back to the mob. Let's get this town back to the way it was. We had priorities.
I don't think that exists anymore. I don't think it's too late now. It's too late.
Yeah, things change, everything evolves, if you will. And not necessarily for the better.
No.
No. Most people our age will say, well, the old days were the,
I tell you one thing, I would have never think about moving out of this town. Even when I was out of town, I always keep my residence in here. Mm-hmm. But I've seriously been thinking about moving out of town. With online newspaper, online radio station, I can operate it from anywhere in the world.
Where might you move to, Rolando?
I don't know.
Do you have even a selection of places?
No, definitely I would not going to move to Florida. I don't.
You could almost go home now because of the great president we had that gave them consideration.
I doubt if that's on his list.
I would never put my foot in that line as long as there is any hint of Castro's.
What if they're gone and the island really changes back to almost democracy? What then?
Maybe if I can go back and forth. Yeah, I used to do. I used to do it. I used to do that before, but before Castro.
Location. I fly over it all the time when I'm coming and going from the commercial planes come real close to it.
Yeah. No, I tell you, I used to do that.
From Florida,
I used to catch the plane at 8:00 in the morning, come to Miami, buy me a pair of pants, a pair of shoes, have lunch, and grab the 4:00 plane back to Cuba. Because that's the way it was before.
Cuba would have been a very, very productive, unique place if what happened.
Oh, it was.
It would have been. Today, it would be an unbelievable place.
Well, I don't think Las Vegas will exist without.
No, it wouldn't.
Without
so you picture Vegas there in Cuba, and that's where it would have been. And Cuba would have been one of the leaders of the world.
Yeah.
Leaders of the world for such a small place.
Remember, our money was worth 2 pennies more than the dollar in 1957.
Communism destroyed that place. Absolutely took a country and destroyed it. And people lean towards communism. You got to be kidding. Just look.
And that's a good example that the people in the United States should look at.
Exactly.
That's a good example.
Wake up, America.
Even Venezuela. Venezuela is probably 3 times bigger than Cuba is. And I'm going to tell you, I live in Venezuela in 1956. And I tell you one thing, my friend, that was a beautiful country.
Brazil is a beautiful country in a way.
Costa Rica
have the 2016 Olympics there.
I used to fly to Costa Rica in the weekend, and that's a beautiful. They don't even have an army for Christ's sake. They don't even have I don't know how it is now with all those Americans refugee over there, because almost every cop from Las Vegas then either quit or got fired for corruption. They moved to Costa Rica,
Yeah.
A lot of American people live there. I don't want to live there now, to be honest with you. If I'm going to live in Costa Rica, I live in Las Vegas.
Well, Costa Rica used to be a deal, from what I understand. It used to be, the money used to go a long ways there. Not anymore, I don't think.
Huh?
I think so many people have moved there that it's not a bargain anymore.
No. No, there's nothing else.
Everything gets controlled by the money sooner or later. Things go
that's true. That's exactly what it is.
Belize is a place that's supposed to still be touted as a reasonable place to live, cost-wise and everything. But it's a beautiful country. I've been there.
You've been in Costa Rica?
No, Belize.
Oh, yes.
And Honduras and stuff. And like Roatan, I've been on the island of Roatan. You can go swimming in Roatan, and you can see 100 feet in front of you in the water.
I mean, you talk about crystal clear water and fish is coming by, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Would
But,
you ever move outside of the USA?
Well, I've considered that, but then you try to get realistic and go, where would I go?
That's
and
the
I've looked
question.
into it, and there's some places in, I guess, Brazil that I've kind of looked at. I forget the Cabo Frio, I think is one of them. The water's very cold there. That's why they call it that, I think. But that's got an up and coming, it's a kind of a vibrant city. It's touristy in a way. So, you know, it's Brazil's got some things to offer. But it's a big country, so you got about everything in the world.
Well, you might want
to. I'm an ocean type person. I love to look at water. And Brazil's got an unlimited coastline. I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
I've been on the Atlantic side of Honduras, and there's absolutely nothing there. You can fly for 200 or 300 miles, and all you see is white, sandy, beautiful beaches.
That's beautiful.
I'm telling you, that is a coastline to die for. And the part of the forest is there that if you go in there, you don't come out because there's people that Aborigines or whatever they are that live in that jungle. And if you go in there, you don't come out. I mean, there's headhunters in there. I mean, it's one of the unexplored areas left in the world. Nobody comes out of there. You go in there, you don't come back.
Because they like it so much, they stay there, or they get killed.
They chop your head off and they eat you, I guess. But the coastline is gorgeous. And you'll see people, if you run into a little village, you'll see them out there in hollowed logs fishing and stuff because they take this Honduras trees, the mahogany, they hollow it out, they make a fishing canoe type boat, and they go out and they fish, and that's the way they live. And a wealthy person on the coast of Honduras, they'll have a cow in their backyard. That's the wealthy person in that town because they have their own milk stores. You know, but they all live off of fishing. I mean, I've got a lot of experience there. It's a fascinating place. There was a place that I went to, a colonel in the army. I had a deal with Honduras at one point. I was going to look for sunken galleons, but believe me, they're there. And this colonel took me to this place. We flew in a plane, landed at this airport, and you had to be careful because there was all kinds of livestock on this runway. You had to take a couple passes and stuff. And this community was wealthy because it was a sunken galleon off their beach. And anytime there was a storm, golden doubloons would wash up on the beach, and they didn't tax them. They couldn't tax them, but they had all the school kids were all dressed up in little uniforms.
Well,
unbelievable.
Don't let the school kids interrupt you because we have to interrupt you.
Right.
And this is all for today. It's all for this week. Maramis, thank you again for being here.
Well, thank you. You guys got off on your own little jaunt there, but that's okay. If I had anything to say, I would have interrupted. Go ahead.
That's a nice, polite way to tell you didn't let me talk.
No.
Clark, thank you for being here again. And don't go anywhere. Dr. Steve Dempsey is coming on at 1 o'clock. We're going to run into 1 or 2 commercials, and then Steve will be in. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. And
Bye-bye.
remember, the next Saturday, we are going to do
A week from tomorrow.
a remote from the Cashman Field. So with the Latin Chamber of Commerce
10 to 3.
from 10 to 3. Thank you and good night.